don't even want to get into that. Now, when you were born, you had certain precious stones that were a vibration, and in this vibration, when you were born, there was a stone that did what? What it did was, because they are associated with the time of your birth. And in the time of your birth, these are called birth stones. We know that in the last class that we had before we had a public session, they were stones that were created by the Jewish Association in 1912 or 1914, one of those numbers, in Kansas City. The thing is that we already knew that there was something else going on before 1912. So all these birthstones that you see in the TV channels, the selling channels, the malls, and everything else were created in the 1912 organization. They have nothing to do with the Bible. Plus, to your disbelief and awakening, there are no such thing and never has been in the scripture writing the diamond. The diamond did not exist. We had a brother in the class named Marcus, and he had a Bible, a dictionary, and I had him to read the word diamond. And they said a diamond was a name given, and it is a falsehood to say that there's a diamond in the Bible because it did not exist in the biblical times by its name or the characterization. So that in itself becomes something outside of where we are in scriptures. Remember how we had it where we decided where we were going to talk to one of the most notable scholars in the world at the Hebrew Union College, and he said that they reconstructed the scriptures in the Bible to lead you down a blind alley. But yet many of us still, by we putting it on the internet, they still ignore that interview, and they still looking in the blind alley for answers. And it's like, what? Now, precious stones. Precious stones are what they call the Magadayams. Magadayams are what we are considered to have as precious stones or precious things. These precious things that belong to Ayah are not just stones, but people. And these precious things or stones are the things that bring forth the spirits that are connected to these things. So what we have here is a form of condensed crystals that, the worn correctly, they have the potential to benefit, I don't know why I got a green line there, but anyway. One's psychological tendency, physical health, business affairs, and spirits, while helping to minimize the impact of a wide range of negative conditions and situations. These results as part of the precious stones, they improve your concentration, health problems, and basically where all that I got that from is Proverbs 4:20 to 22, and some readings that I had. What I want you to do is understand that when we begin to do this, I wrote this study as if I'm talking to you, because I like to write that way. And what happened is that I'll put down like this study explores the root cause of troubles in life and how the precious stones can help us alleviate the problem by the same factor, by attuning to the higher frequency of the invisible and non-seeing forces. Now, the invisible and non-seeing forces, as we explained before, are the things that I have been trying to show and teach from Jump Street. I know that many of us, when we talked about the New Moon study, how a fifth grader in another junior high or elementary know more than the nation of the Hebrew Israelites. This study is not about attuning to whether or not we're comparing ourselves to Hebrew Israelites or otherwise. We are not. This is a study and a class by itself where we're dealing with the ancient. We don't need any class or anyone outside the order of the ancient to give us clarification or confirmation on what we do. There's enough scholar and academic research that it can float on water and even go under and come back up and be wondered. So it don't have that. It's not necessary. But I do a lot of the comparison to show people in reflective mode how things have not been restored, not changed. They changed things, They have changed things. So it's kind of hard to restore stuff when you have to go back and attune these things to the order in which the ancients had it, because they have corrupted the text on purpose. First of all, they took it out of the language and brought it into what we call Jewish language, which most of the people are, when they speak this, is Yiddish. But yeah, we're going to apologize for them. So, oh no, it's Jewish. No, it's Yiddish. And that's what it is. Now, the study,
Can you explain Yiddish, what exactly is Yiddish?
Yiddish is a variation of the language of Jewish morphic language that in the European Baltic area of the Germans and those around in there, that they arrived from this form of the Jewish language. This sector and culture that they did, they became tradition, and in their synagogues and temples, they incorporated it. It became a common tradition. But in the Hebrew Union College, they tell you that there are 3 sectors of the Jewish or the Hebrew, modern Hebrew language. One of the 2 major of the 3 factors is called Sephardic. The other one is Ashkenazi. How do you pronounce that? Who? Yeah, thank you. The Nazi people. That's what they are. And then the third one, or the first one, is what? It's like the Latinos, but it's not. It's the, there you go, Latino. Now, these are the 3 principles that are under umbrella. This umbrella of the language is called Tertullian. And Tertullian, Tertullian is where it is the umbrella where it comes from, the what they call the arm or the art, which is Aramaic text. Aramaic text is the ancient text. The Aramaic text is broken down into 10 different sectors. The original is from us. The thing is from the stone, which we have on that chart that's outside on the door. So we know that this is a fact. All the other ones are Hellenistic, and they are Greek or mixed in with other languages, but they are in reference to, but not of the original source. So what happened is that the Jewish people used the foundation, and even in that interview that we have on the internet, we show and they show that for the foundation Jewish and the original scrolls of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which I was part of from an academic study, that it ranges and gives them foundation. But many of our teachers still are dealing with the verbiage that is of the sector of Ashkenazi, not even Sephardic. If they were dealing with Sephardic, they were ranging to the spherical or the Kabbalistic conditions and the mysticism. But because they're just dealing with the language and they feel that they are correct, they are off and running off on that path that is walking them sideways. Like, you know, that V8 commercial. And they think that they're walking right and upright, and they're not. And this language is distorting them. And they have not dwelled with it in the point of research and resource to take it even further, unfortunately. We have. Now, the thing is that when we're dealing with this here, we're dealing with the conditions as such as right here, where we're dealing with the spirit. So what we're trying to do is, I'm trying to show you that these precious stones help you improve your concentration, lessons, health problems, increase focus on spiritual goals, and assist in focus and meditation.